Welcome to Cruise News Central with Joseph. Let's get into the news.
These are exciting times in the world of cruising. There are tons of changes happening, lots of new cool cruise ships being built, storms are messing up people's cruise vacations, rescue operations are happening for people going overboard. But some things never change. We at least have one cruiser complaining because they can't get their nicotine fix while the ship is refueling. Now, why wouldn't a ship company want people to smoke while a ship is being refueled? We have that and a lot more today here at Cruise News Central. Let's get into it. The search for a British man who fell 100 feet from a cruise ship in the Adriatic Sea has been called off after 4 days. Croatian authorities reported that the unnamed man went missing early Friday morning from the Royal Caribbean's Explorer of the Seas. The incident occurred near the island of Jabuka off of Croatia's coast en route to Zadar. Passenger Kelvin Cabrera witnessed rescue efforts and reported that the planned Zadar port visit was canceled due to the search. Despite using planes and boats to locate the missing man, hopes have faded due to the passage of time. In our next story, the Emerald Princess has adjusted its itinerary due to an unexpected port day in Boston, impacting its journey to Greenland. Originally set to visit Sydney, Nova Scotia on August 13th, the ship will now spend that day at sea, arriving in Corner Brook a day early on August 14th, before heading to Greenland. The ship will then follow its planned course to Greenland, arriving in Nuuk on August 18th after 3 days at sea. This marks the Emerald Princess's final trip to Greenland this year, featuring stops in the picturesque ports of Nuuk, Karatok, and Noratalak, before returning to Boston on August 28th. Greenland itineraries are notoriously challenging due to weather conditions, the use of water shuttles, and difficulty refueling in remote areas. The Emerald Princess must carefully plan its fuel consumption, as there are limited refueling stations and rough seas can complicate operations. A developing tropical system expected to become Hurricane Ernesto could impact the ship's plans depending on its intensity and path. Passengers are advised to remain flexible, with Princess Cruises prioritizing safety while striving to preserve the ship's itinerary. The beauty and uniqueness of Greenland makes these trips highly sought after, despite the logistical challenges that they present. My wife and I actually just booked our first trip to Greenland. I absolutely can't wait for that trip. Can't wait to see the icebergs. Can't wait to take some hikes in Greenland. It's going to be awesome. You know, something that I'm going to bring on that Greenland cruise and any other cruise that I go on from now on is the Ultimate Cruise Word Search book. My wife made this book from scratch. It has 120 cruise-related large print word searches in it. It's super cool. When you don't want to be on the internet, you don't want to be on your device, you just want to be doing a little puzzle on the cruise ship passing time, check this out. We'll have a link for it in the description. Yeah, here we go. Smokers complain about not being able to get their fix while cruise ships are refueling. So while major cruise ships aren't necessarily flagged U.S. ships, they do comply with U.S. rules, such as banning cannabis and CBD and maintaining a drinking age of 21. They also enforce rules from countries they visit, like Mexico's ban on vaping materials and certain Caribbean countries' ban on camouflage clothing. Safety rules on cruise ships include prohibitions on items like irons and surge protectors to prevent fires. Smoking is a particular concern, with strict limits on where it can occur. Carnival Cruise Line brand ambassador John Heald addressed smoking complaints, explaining that smoking is prohibited during refueling on embarkation day for safety reasons. He emphasizes safety over passenger preferences, stating that the safety of the ship and comfort of all guests are paramount. I would add in that we don't want the ship to explode. Heald's explanation received broad support from commenters who largely agreed with the safety-first approach. And in our next story, Disney Cruise Line has announced an expansion of its fleet with the order of 4 new cruise ships for delivery between 2027 and 2031. This addition will increase its fleet to 13 ships, furthering Disney's presence in the cruise industry. Josh D'Amaro, chairman of Disney Experiences, highlighted the cruise line as one of Disney's fastest growing businesses, with a 97% occupancy rate reported in the second quarter of 2024. That is impressive. While details about the new ships and their construction sites remain undisclosed, Disney has a history of collaborating with Papenburg-based Meyer Werft, which is currently building 3 ships for the company. The new ships will follow the delivery of Disney Treasure and Disney Destiny, expected in December 2024 and March 2025, respectively. Up next, American Airlines is set to enhance travel options for U.S. cruise passengers with a new weekly direct flight from Quebec City to Charlotte Douglas International Airport in North Carolina. Available every Saturday until November 2nd, 2024, this flight complements America's existing services from Quebec to Philadelphia and Chicago. The new route is expected to attract more American cruise passengers during the peak fall cruise season, which includes 18 scheduled cruise ship arrivals and departures in Quebec City. Charlotte, a major U.S. transportation hub, offers convenient connections for travelers from the southeastern United States, California, Texas, and Florida. And in weather. Weather experts are closely monitoring a potentially dangerous storm developing in the Atlantic. Just days after Hurricane Debby impacted Florida and other parts of the U.S., the U.S. National Hurricane Center has issued warnings about a possible tropical depression forming near the Lesser and Greater Antilles, affecting areas like the Dominican Republic, Puerto Rico, the Cayman Islands, Jamaica, Cuba, and Hispaniola. In response, Royal Caribbean and Norwegian Cruise Line have altered the itineraries of 2 ships to avoid the Eastern Caribbean. Royal Caribbean's Icon of the Seas, which left Miami on Saturday, will now sail to the Western Caribbean, skipping stops at St. Kitts, St. Thomas, and the U.S. Virgin Islands. Instead, it will visit Cozumel, Roatan in Honduras, Costa Maya, and Royal Caribbean's private island in the Bahamas on August 16th. Similarly, Norwegian Cruise Line's Breakaway, departing Miami on Sunday, has adjusted its route to visit Roatan, Harvest Caye in Belize, Costa Maya, and Cozumel, steering clear of the Eastern Caribbean. Ladies and gentlemen, that is it for Cruise News Central on August 13th in the year of our Lord, 2024. Always remember, no matter what cruise destination you choose or what cruise line you choose, adventure awaits.